While asking people what comes to their mind when they hear the words Macbeth Arabia, some say it was a great experience. Others say it was a marvelous show, while others say it was one of the best productions AOS has ever seen so far. Here with us are actors who play different roles in Macbeth Arabia. They're here to share their experiences in the production and behind the scenes, what they learned from it, and the most challenging scenes they faced throughout the play.
What differentiated Macbeth Arabia is from other productions were two things. Number one, we had two famous actors, Bashar Atiyat and Hugh Kennedy, that came from abroad, and they specifically came to this production, and they helped us out big time. They gave us tips on what to do, how to act. They helped us with our voice, and it was extremely, extremely helpful. And the second thing was, everyone knows Macbeth, everyone knows Shakespeare, but to Arabize it is something that I don't think anyone's ever done.
When you do Shakespeare as an actor, it's really different from reading it or watching it, and it gave me a better appreciation of the texts and the plays that Shakespeare has produced. But as an actor, yeah, there's a lot that I learned during this.
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us see what we do. My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever belied his shaman such an honor named.
For the witches, you had to create some kind of oneness with you and your witch sisters. You know, you had to feel the vibe. You had to feed off their movement, their action, their words, their everything basically. So to create that oneness with a group of girls, in which some of them I didn't really know, in which some of them I did know, it was really difficult. But alhamdulillah, towards the end, it was there. Like, we did certain exercises. Professor Anthony Tassa would make us do certain exercises where we'd literally huddle into one, close our eyes, and kind of meditate. It was a lot. It was a really, really good exercise that created that oneness, that we were one group, we were all one soul. And the idea that witches aren't real, like, we don't see witches, we hear about them in stories, we hear about them in movies and everything. The fact that they aren't real, that was very difficult to make it become reality and to convince the audience that witches do exist. So yeah.
Well, you know, because I work with Hugh Kennedy, who's a professional, established actor, I learned how to better interpret script, and you know, how to read it better, and how to apply that to whatever I'm doing on stage. And you know, it gave me a new outlook on Shakespeare, and how to play Shakespeare, and how to, you know, do it the Shakespearean way. So it definitely improved me as an actor. You know, I learned how to project my voice better. I learned how to somehow kind of, according to the script, do certain actions on stage. Basically, I learned how to stay authentic to scripts, and try to follow what the writer's thinking, the pattern of thought that he had when he wrote this. And because the script is very subtle, and there's just so many ways you can look at it.
One of the most challenging scenes that I thought was most difficult was, there was one scene with Hecate where she came out of the blue and was extremely disappointed at us as witches. I mean, if you look here, you see that we had to combine around, we had to fear her and just huddle up into one group as she tortured our other sisters. Like, our sisters were tortured. So to have that feeling, or to build that feeling in you as a character that your own sister is being tortured because of some evil head witch, was really, really difficult. We had to rerun that scene over and over and over again.
Well, there was this scene I did. Basically, Malcolm flees his country after his father's assassinated, and he plans on coming back, and he rendezvous with Macduff, who's the character played by Hugh Kennedy. And Malcolm doesn't exactly know where Macduff stands in terms of loyalty. So, to put it short, Malcolm begins to mess with Macduff's head. He sort of interrogates him. It's sort of an interrogation scene in the sense that he's trying to get to Macduff's mind, and he's kind of messing around with him. So the scene is very subtle. there are things that Malcolm does in a sort of way that, you know, like, it's sort of acting within acting, because in the scene itself, Malcolm's sort of pretending to be someone else. And doing that was tough. Doing that was tough because it had to portray, first of all, how subtle it was, and it had to also portray to the audience what Malcolm's intentions were, at the same time making it look authentic, that I'm actually not being real to Macduff. So doing all of that, it was a pretty complex scene. Why don't we take a look at it?
I've become a devil, more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
My wrath is bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there is no bottom, none to my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids cannot fill up the cistern of my lust.
It was a really fun atmosphere. One thing that, you know, our director, Anthony Tassa, said is that, you know, we're going to be a family, and that's exactly what happened.